Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley, here with Greg Hansen. Greg, it's another Friday, and you know what that means.
Yeah, Friday night college football.
College football on a Friday night. Tucson is not Texas when it comes to high school football. Tucson is not Phoenix when it comes to high school football. But this matters. There's something uncomfortable to me about playing college football on high school nights.
Well, and get used to it, because this year Fox Sports 1 has 5 more Friday night games.
Right.
And the reason why, I looked at the ratings from last week, ESPN ratings. Arizona's Friday night game against UTEP drew 870,000 viewers.
Oh my God, that's a, what? That's a lot.
The next night on ESPN, Saturday night, when Utah played San Jose State and there were all kinds of other games on, 260,000. So Friday night is a waiting audience. ESPN and Fox Sports 1 know that. And Arizona is a good example by the viewers they got in a crummy game against El Paso.
This is what I call the Applebee's / Outback Steakhouse rule. Follow me here. When we used to travel for football, we would end up somewhere the night before a game, sitting at a bar with nothing to do.
Yeah.
And what would we do, Greg?
Watch the game.
We would watch South Florida play East Carolina, and we would hang on every word.
And I came to know the South Florida players.
Yes,
remember that?
B.J. Daniels, their quarterback, absolutely, because they were on. The same way now in October and November, I will watch a MAC football game on a Wednesday night for no other reason other than the fact that it's on TV, right?
Last Thursday night, in one of the worst games ever put on TV, New Mexico played Boise State. It drew 1.1 million viewers.
Wow.
That's almost 1 million more than Utah got on the Saturday night.
If we're talking big picture for an athletic department, would you rather have, are you happy to surrender 20,000 paying customers for 1 million eyeballs?
No.
Really?
You're going to get the Pac-12 media rights money no matter what you do.
That's true.
But you can't replace, at a place like Arizona, even 8,000 fans.
But if you're getting the Pac-12 media rights money, you've already agreed that somebody else is scheduling your games for you.
You know, I talked to Jeff Skern, Catalina Foothills, about it yesterday, and he said it's a big factor.
Yeah.
He said we won't get the casual fans, we'll get the parents.
Right.
And one thing he said that I hadn't paid much attention to, he says, the money we make at football home games funds our soccer teams and stuff like that.
Sure. And high school games, I mean, they're a good value, but that's not an insignificant amount of money. If you're charging $8 a ticket and you're drawing 1,500 people, that's a lot of money.
And you're getting no attention.
Right.
You fall off the map when Arizona plays a Friday night home game.
Let's look at media coverage. I mean, I'll say this as the sports editor here, we probably don't cover high schools as much as we should. We certainly are not going to be covering them as much as we should on a night when there's a U of A game going on. You
know, maybe big cities, it doesn't matter. I think UCLA has 3 Friday night games coming up still this year. But, you know, in LA, I guess that doesn't matter there.
Right. I feel bad for somebody like you. Follow me here. The last time Arizona played a Saturday home game was Houston, right? What'd you do the night before?
Oh, I went to the South Point football game.
Right. And what did you see when you were there?
Saw the best player in the city, Bijan Robinson.
And Bijan Robinson did what?
He jumped over a guy on the 5-yard line. I know that. He gained 260 yards.
And before you could go like this and push your chin up because, oh my God, Bijan Robinson just leapfrogged a guy. That video was where?
Oh, you're right.
That was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Every TV station that was there got it. We had it at HS Tucson. You should give us a follow. And it had gotten something like 1 million impressions in the span of 2 days. Our tweet, right? We're not there if there's an Arizona game that night.
Yeah.
You, Greg Hansen, are not there if there's an Arizona game that night. Maybe 50,000 people don't know that Bijan Robinson is an otherworldly talent if you're not there that night.
Yeah.
To me, when we talk about what's fair, high school kids should be able to get their one night of football. And hey, if they want to move their game to Thursdays with 3 months notice, great. But it's bad for the college game to compete with the Friday night stuff.
Yeah. You know, next week, the best high school game of the year is played on a Thursday night, South Point and Cienega.
Jewish holiday.
So they'll avoid conflicts, but I know Thursday night will be an NFL game on TV and a college football game on TV.
If you were a high school, honest question here, and you saw Arizona was playing on a Friday, would you move your game to Saturday?
It's funny you asked that. I looked up. I wasted a lot of time looking this up. In 1936, Arizona opened its season on a Friday night in Tucson against BYU.
Okay.
Sold out 7,000 seats at Arizona Stadium. Tucson High moved their game to Saturday. That was 80 years ago, and they knew enough. Move your game.
Did Tucson High outdraw the U of A?
It didn't have an attendance figure on, but Tucson High sold out every game for like 50 years.
One of these summers when we're bored, I want to look up and see how many nights, how many weeks Tucson High outdrew the U of A, and if that ever happened.
It'd be close for a few years. Yeah.
Totally.
Might be close next year.
That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, so when your kids were in school, where'd they go?
They went to Mountain View.
Mountain View. And Saguaro,
Yeah.
right? And Saguaro. Would you go to those games on Friday nights? Or were those work nights for you?
I went to a couple. Well, Mountain View then won the state championship.
Right.
I must have seen 8 of their games one year.
Right.
They were 14-0, so yeah, I went all the time then.
Wow. And they had, what's his name?
Kevin Schmidtke.
Kevin Schmidtke,
Yeah.
former Arizona guy. Very interesting. I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.